I've been asked what drives my forward momentum, where I get so much energy. And my necessary non-answer specifies why homes don't have open furnaces in living rooms, why cruise ships keep engines on lower levels, behind bulkheads, and not on deck next to swimming pools surrounded by lounge chairs in the open air, why passengers never get an in-person view of industrial-level diesel combustion, or else they might feel ships are tarnished by holding actual pieces of hell in their souls, and child minds on solid shorelines may believe that it is an irredeemable sea beast that they see pumping smoke into the breeze. No one can unring resonant rumblings of the iron bell, so be careful about who is walking beneath it when you go and swing your mallet. I understand the urge for release, the immense satisfaction of hitting hollow metal, of hearing harmonious reverberations wash over you, of seeing others freely recoil the way you once were told was shameful. But I can't send those sounds back into the bell, nor guide that kinetic trauma back into the hammer and along your arm in returning it to your center. Oh, I know listeners who still, to this day, only have harrowing memories torn from someone else's diaries swirling around them for company. While the big cliche is spreading rose petals on a bed, I sometimes speculate outside what's socially acceptable and wonder if sadomasochists are more aroused by poison ivy leaves instead. If they line the room not with candles, but Venus flytraps twisting in unison, eating the insects come through the window, attracted to beads of sweat on suffering, sexually satisfied bodies. Perhaps those lovers lick the rashes forming on their partner's skin and find it even more sensitively orgasmic to feel nails pull across those affected patches of flesh. We imagine the pain realms of hell using whips, chains, and red-hot restraints, easily overlooking their subtle devils, who tend to gardens of nightshade and all of the poisonous flower petals. I used to think I designed my daydreams, before suggestive whispers grew into choral arias echoing in my ears that asking about a vision's viability may dissolve its score and shrink the ground on which I stand, where I'm paralyzed by fearing that the untouched future will still sing to me as a sweet song if I choose another. Ventricles in my chest cavity don't bring blood or oxygen. They're chains, suspending my heart in bittersweet torment under a skull leaking just enough fantasies to weave what I desperately tried and failed to see in my sleep. An exorcism might seal the breach, but I am not yet ready to trade a reliable maybe for the possibility of absence being sung into actuality. I saw the first Highlander film before I'd even grown a single strand of facial hair, and couldn't grasp the protagonist's painful screams amid lightning after, spoiler alert, winning the immortal game. I'm sure others, still green behind ears, wonder why that famous picture doesn't show Muhammad Ali grinning widely over rematch-beaten Sonny Liston, instead depicting an arm-flexed, snarling, shouting down position. Later ages reveal why late-stage joy often sings such a melancholy song. Further along the parabola, pleasure arrives as a light. You have to switch on old shadows to view. One's again stretching out from a marred horizon's already processed and forgotten darkness. And it may only be what I tell myself in isolated moments. Or it may really only be after screwing up so badly. I feel I've lost all ability to mentor, that I actually gained the experience needed for better guiding new adventurers around dangers found outside the keep. Maybe in the land where the floor is lava, the man whose legs end in melted, cauterized stumps can at least be an advisor to a queen. There is a video game no one has completed where the last level lies vacant. A cavernous white room, low codes exposed, with no clear creases and corners or beneath the horizon's baseboards. Here, the design isn't a player finding paradise, but building it with whatever they've retained over their own rising. A community accumulated over the course of a journey, each random bit maintained in a faith that it will one day fit a future place. Ambitiously ascending on growing piles of the abandoned and sacrificed, only touches vistas whose emptiness endlessly reflects the hollow-heartedness we once thought of as needed for entry into Eden. Now, this clarity is a sobering exile on a planet to which I've already been, where days last longer than they have in years, and nothing gives shade from the shrieking sun. It seems there's now more hourglass to fill. Impossible. How? I've scraped this vessel hollow. Although emptiness doesn't necessarily mean absence, our potential is just too vast to behold. Other air vents do wait, out of reach, asking me to fall before grabbing hold and crawling free. A vulnerable moment inside of every viable possibility, so I let go. The realm of reanimation touches both reassembled monsters and stuffed animals sewn back together with sparks of violent fury. But teddy bears and their kin twist rusted garden tools into a victim's flesh with more malice than monstrosities who remember what it was like when they were hunted down. Ones who aren't haunted by torturous memories of lives that were once warm with adoration. It all started when some dumb bastard threw a television into Tartarus, giving devils and the rest of hell an introductory crash course in media literacy. It dawned on them like an epiphany. One archetypal snake only slid under Adam and Eve's skin. A subtle, Billy Rubin-colored bunny corrupts multiple angels across successive circles. And while St. Michael was easily able to exile serpents and Satan, it's a harder sell getting approval for battle plans involving stabbing monsters who have taped on Care Bear avatars using flaming swords before kicking them over. The optics of wiping cartoon blood off hot blades are just too much for viewers at home to take, particularly those hiding fursuits, exclusively used for sympathy during legal proceedings ruling on wrongdoings. Now, looking back, I value Lamb Chop's sock puppet show because of how it prepared us for this present. Put on positive intent and wholesome content, still useful in general, broken up by capitalism's inevitable interjections, commercialism's shameless posturing, all concluding with a melody rolling over credits going too fast to cherish. The song that doesn't end, self-aware while eating its tail. Baby's first infinity-based existential impasse, demonstrating how irresistibly easy getting trapped in looped hell cycles can be. In the song that doesn't end, self-aware while eating its tail. Baby's first infinity-based existential impasse, demonstrating how irresistibly easy getting trapped in loop hell cycles can be. In the song that doesn't end, self-aware while eating its tail. Baby's first infinity. Do not lose faith that we will one day learn how to harness the awesomely inert energy of black holes light years away to power our progress and functionality. Since, after all, we have plenty of people operating in and assisting society regularly with massive, gaping chasms of silence inside them. Thank you so kindly.